Good night, vatos. Thanks again for tuning into yet another video Infamous coming at you from the West Coast. Yet again, we are looking at the new 2022 Nightster and stuff that I like about it. Stuff, my own reaction, my own 2 cents, of course. Let's just get into it. You know, the price, man, that seems really high. Back in 2007 when this thing was released, it was under, I believe, $9,500. I would have liked to see a Sportster, you know, probably a little bit closer to $10,000, especially if it's a 975. You know, that alone is a disappointment. Honestly, it is. You know, it's a missed opportunity, and of course, you know, it's just the ugly left side of the engine. It's just hideous, as you guys can see. I mean, nothing is pretty over here on this side, but you know, on this side, the bike looks pretty good. All right, it's not. I mean, it's got the silhouette, it's got the style of a Sportster. Even the color itself, you guys can see the front fender, rear fender are black. You know, that in itself is, you know, just like a Sportster. Most of the Sportsters are released, you know, like this. But you know, another thing that I didn't like is the price. I mean, for just the tank, you're charging your consumers $400 for just the tank. Man, and the tank's not even a gas tank, guys. It's a lot like the V-Rod. After, you know, watching the event, seeing some of the details, this is really, you know, kind of like the V-Rod. That, you know, there's a reason why they move the monoshock or the suspension, the rear shocks, they move them on the outside because they went ahead and placed your fuel tank right underneath the seat, and this is pretty much, you know, that looks exactly like the V-Rod. So I mean, this has a lot of the V-Rod technology. Your air box is up here. This is just, you know, for show. It's kind of like putting you know, exhaust pipes on your live wire. Honestly, I saw some of the, you know, aftermarket parts or some of their parts where they offer air breathers, and I don't think they have any function through here, or who knows, maybe they redirect the intake from up here in the gas tank, which would be your gas tank, and they move it, I guess, down over here. I don't know. This is just bizarre, their overall design. But you know, they did say a couple things. You know, there are some benefits to having your fuel tank down underneath the seat. You know, just the center of gravity. It's going to handle a little bit better. It's going to be a little bit more agile. It's going to feel a lot lighter. It's under 500 pounds. You know, there's a lot of performance in this thing. It's got 100 horsepower, I believe. I haven't checked the numbers. I glanced at them, but I believe it's got about 100 horsepower and I think 80 or 90 torque, which is, you know, pretty solid numbers. A lot better than, of course, your average Sportster. But I think the silhouette, the design, the wheels, I'm a fan of the wheels. I think they got a lot of this stuff right. And, you know, you have this big old 2-in-1 cannon right here. That looks pretty good. I believe they added like 3 degrees of lean angle on each side, which is, you know, another benefit for, you know, for the Sportster. You want the bike to be agile and light. And I mean, yeah, it's got all of that. It's got a, you know, it's got a unique design to it. I like the overall look, but man, I believe they just kind of missed it with the price at, you know, $13,500. That's kind of steep. And like I said, this was released in 2007. I believe it had a better color to it. You also had the spoked wheels, the laced wheels on the 2007 Nightster, and like I said, it was under $10,000. So maybe they could have done a couple things different. Like I mentioned in my other videos, you know, give me back the old school Speedo. I usually mount my phone on the handlebars. You know, any little thing helps to kind of get the price down. I like the riding modes. I like the performance of the bike. I like you know, the technology, liquid cooled performance under, you know, 500 pounds. There's a lot here to like. There's a lot here to love. I mean, it is what it is, and it looks like it's an analog Speedo anyways. I was talking about, you know, the Sportster S, you get the infotainment system, sort of, you know, Bluetooth touch display, I believe. This one, it's more, you know, that's more of an analog Speedo. That looks like something you would get with the Fat Bop. So it's not even it's not really a you know, I guess a price cut, but I know there's got to be somewhere for them to kind of, you know, keep the price down. I don't know where, but I mean, they gotta do it. You know, it's got the same stance. Same wheel wise as the Nightster, I believe it, 19, 16 on the back. Let's just look at a few little details. The wheels, I dug the wheels. I really like them. The rear shocks, like I said, that's something that I did kind of like seeing it. It's got more of that look of a Sportster, and even the tank, of course, the tank shape and everything. It looks a lot more like a Sportster. I was looking at the video. This is one of the things that I kind of picked up on. I saw this build and I'm just kind of like, dude, that's the Sportster S. I just thought it was a little amusing seeing what he did with the with the rear of the bike, and it looks horrendous. I don't know. I mean, this is just me, but this does not look good when you have the strut sticking out like that. You got to bring this back a little bit and then cut it out or something. But anyways, this is basically a Sportster S, what this first guy did. Here's that little air breather that I was telling you guys about. That doesn't really make any sense. I don't know. I mean, I guess I gotta look at it a little bit more, but I don't think this serves any function, because your air box is, of course, the gas tank, or what normally it would be. But the overall look, the silhouette, the design, I do dig. Performance wise, let's look at the numbers right here. Engine, torque, RPM. So it's a little bit above where your Milwaukee 8 likes to be at. Typically on a Milwaukee 8, you're somewhere around 3,000 to 4,000 RPM. This is a little bit higher, so it gives you a little bit more of that classic torque, or that feel of a Harley, having that low end power. So 70 foot-pounds of torque, that's pretty good. 90 horsepower, this is where I was just mentioning, that's pretty good. 90 horsepower. I think I was saying something along the lines on the Sportster S, a $15,000 bike. For you to get performance like that out of your Milwaukee 8, you're looking at probably dropping about maybe $10,000 on that M8 with the 131, of course. I believe Shade Tree Surgeon's Road King, after the 131 and all the stuff they did to that Road King, I believe it was around that performance range, 130 horsepower and 130 torque. So it is what it is. For the price, $15,000, and then of course you could still do more performance to it. I'm pretty sure the aftermarket's going to be there. Who knows when, but I'm pretty sure there's going to be a lot of support for this new drivetrain. So I was just saying, in the other video, that I like, how they could adapt this frame to just about anything. The frame member, the engine itself, that bolts to the front. So you could change this, either change the complete front end, get a different rake. You don't have to redesign the whole frame around this, kind of like what you have to do with the Milwaukee 8. Typically, the soft tails, you're looking at a 28 degree, which is your lowrider S, or 30 degree rake. On this one, you could just change, I'm pointing out where to point out, but you could just change, of course, this part of the frame, and you have a different rake. You have a different, a different bike. Kind of like what they did with the, I'm going to point my mouse, what they did right here. This, this subframe right here, the rear part of the frame, they swapped it from that monoshock to what you see here in this Nightster. So just rambling here. Here are some of the images, some of the parts, some of the other builds. One of the bikes had look at right here. This has more of a full fender. One of the bikes had like a classic XR look to it. Wow, this looks a little bit better now that it's painted, but it still has that frame. I believe the Thunder Bike Customs, they probably made one of the better looking. These guys right here, they made one of the better looking Sportsters. I really like that design. It's this one right here, so it looks really nice. This one was all right too as well. And this is like that one I was telling you about, that XR kind of look. So I'm just excited to see what they're gonna bring, what they're gonna offer. I don't know. You guys, let me know in the comments what you guys think about, the fuel tank being underneath the seat. And I don't know. I mean, you guys already know how I feel about the left side of this engine. It's just horrendous. But performance wise, $975. How do you guys feel about the price of the bike, man? I mean, that's just one of those things where I'm just kind of like, man, that sucks. I really wanted to see something a little bit more affordable. man, I don't know about this. And then of course, you know, the $400, you guys can't see it because of my webcam, but $400 for just a different, I don't know. I mean, I think that's a little bit dumb too in itself. I think for $400, you guys better paint the fenders as well, or something along those lines. You know, kind of like what you get with the Lowrider S. You know, the crimson red or whatever color you decide to go with. You get the fenders painted, and you also get the speed screen that's also painted to the color of the tank. I don't know. I mean, man, I don't know. I'm wondering about the pricing. I'm pretty sure they're still they still have a surcharge. The freight, that's increased. A lot of these prices have been increasing, of course, and it looks like, you know, the inflation is gonna get worse, guys. So I don't know. I mean, it is what it is. I don't know. You guys just let me know in the comments. I'm just repeating myself by now, but man, you know what? It's a good looking bike. All right, it's a good looking bike. I just think it's a little bit too much for the price. But hey, I don't know. You guys just stay out there, stay safe. Don't believe everything you read. Life's a risk. Get out there and ride. Later.